Welcome to this video. In this video, I'll be talking about being almost obedient. There was a season in my life where I thought that I was obeying God because I was just doing some of what He asked. So I wasn't completely disobeying Him, I just wasn't fully saying yes to everything that He wanted me to. And so it's like the songwriter sings, I surrender all, but many of us surrender almost. And for a long time, I convinced myself that that was enough. Half obedience is tricky because it feels spiritual. It sounds like I'm doing enough. I'm really not doing the wrong thing. I'm in the activity of it all. It seems like a lot is going on. But if we go back to our heart posture, we will see that there's a gap between where God really requires you to be and what you're offering. We give God a partial yes and we expect full peace. But God doesn't work like that. He doesn't work with compromises. Proverbs tells us to trust God with all our hearts, not some of it, not the comfortable parts, not the parts that we've mastered, but all our heart. It's all or nothing with God. For me, half obedience looked like agreeing with God internally, but disagreeing externally. It's saying yes inside, but not really agreeing on the outside. Or when things come for me to do outside, I'm like, not yet, not now, let's leave it alone. It came with a quiet resistance inside. I obeyed the parts that felt safe, and then I just postponed the parts that required a bit more faith. I wanted God's will just without the discomforts. After all, we tell ourselves things like His yoke is easy, His burden is light, He won't put more on us than we can bear. Those are all the things that we tell ourselves to live in half obedience. And slowly I began to realize that something felt off. I was doing the things, but there was an internal discomfort. There was tension inside because you know better, but you're not doing better. And so there was that chaos inside, that discomfort where you're active but you're not aligned. You're busy but you're not fulfilled. And we know that to obey is better than sacrifice. But many of us choose to sacrifice than to obey. And this is me. This was me. So I was offering activity when God was requiring surrender. He's not about the outside works. It's about your heart posture all the time. God looks at the inside while man looks at the outside. So people can be clapping for you because you're doing what it looks like or what is expected. But on the inside, you know, this is not it, but thanks for the applause. Half obedience costs us intimacy. There's a dryness on the inside of us because it's almost like you're in a relationship with someone and they keep saying, stop doing this thing. I don't like this thing you're doing. Start doing this. But rather than listening to what they are saying for peace to flow, you're more resistant, you're choosing your own way, you're standing strong on your own will. And there's that tension. And so after a while, the person just keeps you aside like, I'm not going to toss you away, but just be there. So there's that dryness inside of us where we're doing things for God, but we don't feel alive. There's not a freshness on anything we're doing because we know God is not pleased fully with where we are in our lives. And so there's a spiritual unrest. There's the inner turmoil where God is asking, am I Lord of all or not at all? God is like, let's define this relationship. What's going on? Who is the boss? Let's know exactly where we are, what we're doing. And so it's like you're doing enough, or God is asking for more. God requires more from us. If we're walking with Him on a journey, where we are, how He finds us is not how He intends to leave us. Never. If He's journeying with us, He hopes and expects that we're making changes. There's a shift inside that causes changes on the outside. And so Luke, again, in Luke, it says, why do you call me Lord, Lord, but you don't do the things I'm saying? It's like, why bother? And as Nigerians would say, it's almost like, why they whine me? Like, why do you call me Lord if you're not going to treat me as Lord over your life? And that scripture used to scare me for a long time. But now it sobers me because it gives clarity to the mind. It's like, if you're going to call me this thing, put your money where your mouth is. Say what you mean and mean what you say. And so it pulls me into a place of going back to the design. What is the design? What is the intent? What is the purpose for this life that I live? And again, God is never after perfection. He's just after our obedience. He's after a progression. So you're moving from one place to the other. You're making strides with Him. You're not just staying in one place or doing external things with the resistance on the inside. But that where you are inside is a reflection of your outside. And so there's a sameness with them. We've established that half obedience is rooted in fear. And so we just obey enough to ease our consciences, but not enough to stretch our faith. But then we know from scripture that anything that is not done out of faith is sin. So what are we really doing? This is sobering because it really means that neutrality isn't actually neutral. You're always at a point. You're never just neutral. Here's something I'm learning. Delay doesn't protect us. It just prolongs our wrestle. I remember a time in my life where I was telling someone when all these things get too much, I'll go back to who I used to be. God isn't going to kill me. He loves me because I'm his daughter. And the person's response was, keep fooling yourself. I'm paraphrasing. It's like, keep fooling yourself. You think you're running away, but you're just piling up the things that you're going to have to do eventually. And so it prolongs our wrestle. It prolongs our time. So the quicker we align, the better and the safer for us. God isn't willing to punish us as many of us think. We have a conception of God also because of our earthly parents. We feel like God is ready to punish us quicker than we believe he is to love us or to partner with us. But God is always after partnership. He's always ready. He's willing and he's eager, waiting for us to partner with him. He's like, I've been here all along. I'm waiting for you to come and join me. Partnership requires surrender all the time. You can't go into a partnership with anybody, a business relationship, a marriage relationship, and expect your will to be done 100%. There's a part of you that you have to let go of so that there can be a union and a meeting point of the both of you. And this is what God requires, just that God requires all of us because he made us and he owns us, and we are here to give him pleasure. And scripture says, if anyone will come after me, let him deny himself. This doesn't say delay yourself or doubt yourself. It says deny yourself. That means you look at yourself and you say, I don't know you. You deny yourself and you choose God's way over your way. Again, there's nothing that I'm saying that I have mastered. I'm still making the conscious choices daily, dying daily, waking up every day and saying, Lord, it's me and you again. Kill this part of me that is still selfish, that is still negotiating obedience. Kill this part of me that is not fully trusting you yet. And if this is you, I invite you to come along this journey with me. Let's start to walk together in obedience day by day. Let's choose God's way, not giving him half obedience. Even if you're half obeying right now, don't let that be the summation of your life. Let that be just a point, but you're going to make strides out of it. That we're going to get to a point where we're fully surrendering. And so if you've been obeying God partially, I beg you, trust God more deeply, especially this year. Give him your full yes, and you'll be the better for it. It's always worth it. We're not called to do life halfway. Not anything. Not your purpose, not your career. There's nothing that we're doing that we should do halfway. Something my mother says is, if you're going to go to hell, go as a champion. If you're going to sin, sin well, so that when you're in hell, you know that you earned your right. And equally, if you're going to go to heaven, go well. Go, know that you went in full obedience. You gave your all. You earned your stars on your crown to be there. And so this is just saying, give God everything. It's all or nothing. And this is a year to fall more deeply in love with him. I'll see you in the next video.